We do our best every Monday night to bring you guys a different topic and something we feel is helpful and hopefully a good resource that we can educate and provide some ideas on building health. And tonight's topic was going to be just some new updates and some changes, but that changed when today on our Mission Monday noon call, they actually announced a new product. So we are very excited about this new addition. And just to kind of give you guys a little bit of, I guess background on this really fast. I know turmeric has been around for over 4,000 years. It's actually been used for medicinal and cooking properties. This is not anything new. But I will tell you that when you see a product that comes from Shaklee, they will wait until every single clinical study has proven it to be safe before they will actually release it to the marketplace. So we now know, and that's why I get a lot of people asking me about my input on turmeric. And I've always said, I think it's great. I know it's definitely been, it's actually part of the curry family, and it's a flowering plant, which we always know when we can use nature, that's our best tool we can use to help with healing our bodies. But we still have to be careful. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's safe. And that is where we can be very thankful that a company like Shaklee actually takes the time to make sure that they continue to do third-party studies and testing and go way above and beyond any standards that are out there for making sure that this is a product that is valuable to bring to us. And now that it's here, I think it's safe to say that this is a very popular product. It's funny because I just put it out there to a few people today and they said, yeah, I've actually already been using turmeric, and I am very excited to see this out there, and it's getting to be more mainstream that it is now in a supplement form because a lot of people just cook with it. But it really has some of the most unique properties when you're looking at very high antioxidants. So I'll tell you that's one of the key things, and you're going to see on the screen there's something called curcuminoids, which are very specific to what lies in part of the turmeric. And there's the root, and then there's actually the part of the plant. So there's different parts of it that have different properties. And that's where we'll kind of explain why Shaklee is different a little bit. I did not introduce myself, so really fast for some of you that are just coming on. I'm Amanda Villarreal, and I have been helping people with health and wellness for many years. And our goal by providing these calls, guys, our team, we come together and figure out what are topics that, like I said, we feel are important. And I think that anytime we can bring a supplement to our, our friends and our family to let them know of natural alternatives, that is very, very important, and to educate you on why this is different. And that is just, something that we feel is very special and unique to what we can bring is new products like this. And it's called Turmeric Boost, if you haven't heard the name of this yet, and it is available actually right now. And Shaklee has been asked for years, and I'll tell you right now, there's a couple of you I knew that just asked me about this the other day. Collagen is another extremely popular product, and I'd say turmeric are probably the two most common products that I get asked, why does Shaklee not have that? And I can tell you when you're looking at collagen options, they still have not found valid research in stating that collagen builds better naturally in things like using what's found in our protein. So by extracting it, it doesn't have necessarily the health benefits. So they have basically said there's not studies to promote it. But turmeric, every time we've asked the company and said, how come we don't have something? Everybody was kind of quiet. And I think it was because it's taken them many years now to actually get this here. So now we have it. And I think it's because we have to know, when you put out a product, everything that Shaklee does is sourced from nature. And again, they use the science to back it. But just because you pull something from nature doesn't mean it's safe, like I was saying earlier. So you have to figure out the best compounds to put with it to make sure that it is going to be absorbed into your body. And that is where we find adding black pepper actually makes a tremendous difference in the bioavailability and the absorption. And this is also a very high amount of what I was saying on that very first screen there, the curcuminoids, that it is a very high amount, and you only have to take one capsule. So I'll show you a comparison here in a second against some of the other products that are available in the marketplace. But there's a lot of different options. When you go to the store and the health food stores, you're going to see tons of different names out there. And here's something to look for. When you're reading your label, we're talking about the turmeric extract, and then there's the root. And if you look at some of the brands here, you're going to see that they put a very high amount of the turmeric root in there. And that is not actually the part that has the bioavailability. So that is where we have to look at finding the studies that then validate it's actually the extract that we want to see. Okay, and if you're looking there, the Turmeric Boost, again, it has a high amount, so 500 milligrams, and you only have to take one capsule. And I actually had one client that she bought some from, I won't say the store to be nice, but it's a local health food store, and she had to take 6 of them a day. And she always said, I have a hard time swallowing that many. And, again, that I think for most people today can be very bothersome to have to take a lot of something. If you don't have to, I think this is great that they were able to fit it in just one of these a day to be able to get what we can see in comparison to other companies. So that's very exciting. And I also look at, the other thing would be, knowing the whys and what's behind turmeric. We kind of compared it to other companies here, but there is so much research being done on this that, I said it's traditionally found in curry, and a lot of people know what curry is. But the history of turmeric, there are actually many, many studies being done on this still currently. And they are finding, and I took some notes here because I pulled some of this from actually Mayo Clinic, but the National Institute of Health actually has 4 clinical studies being done right now that they are finding the curcumin, which we were talking about, is found in the turmeric, is actually being studied for treatment for pancreatic cancer, multiple myeloma, Alzheimer's, and colorectal cancer. So we can see properties that go way beyond what many people know of turmeric being for, which is generally inflammation. And inflammation, I'd say, that is probably one of the leading concerns of many people today, because inflammation stems from everything to your gut health, to your joints hurting. So yes, figuring out options for how we can get rid of inflammation is huge. And some of the other things that tie in with that, if you're reading on the screen there, respiratory health, your ligaments, your skin, helping your brain to function, reducing cholesterol, combating depression. This is just another tool that we can add to our medicine cabinet to look at foundations for building health. And I feel like a broken record because I probably say that several times a day to people, that this is what we need to be doing, is looking at ways that we can find options that are concentrating on our long-term health. And I think this is just another tool to help be able to do that. And, for the people that I've asked that already take a turmeric option, and kind of the differences, I've had some people say they didn't really notice anything right away. And I have other people say that it took them a few months, but they have found actually using the Shaklee Turmeric Boost that results are pretty quick. So if you're using it for a specific issue, you'll probably be able to tell, fairly fast if it's making a difference. But again, the great thing about using something like this is, even if it's not working, you never have to worry about any harm being done to your body because of the clinical studies that have been done on this. Now, I have heard in other turmeric supplements that some of the store brand options, it has bothered people's stomachs. They have actually had issues with being nauseous from it. And it all has to do with, when we talk about what the supplement is coated in, how it's broken down, there's so much to supplements that is not regulated. And that's why we have to note that this is worth giving it a try. We know it's safe, we know it's absorbed, and we know it's in a high compound of those carotenoids. But it's exciting to note that the options, if you were to look at what's in this product, it's very simple. There's not a whole lot of ingredients. It's pretty much the black pepper and the turmeric. I actually had one lady tell me that she makes this herself, and it takes her a long time to actually to do this every day. And I was like, well, how easy is it now to basically have it available in a capsule formula? But the other thing to note is the other ingredients in there. If you notice, nothing is added to it. It's still going to be vegan. It's gluten-free. Every Shaklee product is actually gluten-free. But I love the fact, again, that those antioxidant properties are very high in this. So when we want to kind of understand, we talked about turmeric at the beginning here, but the long-term properties of this, remember, antioxidants are one of the keys to helping with sustained health. So when we're looking at preventing disease, the higher antioxidants we can bring into our body, the better. And why is, like I said, black pepper included? We talked about that because it's going to help with the absorption of this. And you can take this any time of day. That's another common question we get is, when is the best time to take a certain supplement? And this is good to know because these are supplements you don't have to worry about this interfering with any medications. This is just like eating turmeric. You're not going to have the concern of timing it that you shouldn't have it with certain things. It's not going to bind with any, medications, etc. But I do always say, just like when you're using a whole food type product, that you ideally take it with a meal, just to make sure, some people are kind of sensitive taking things on an empty stomach. So just important to mention, though, that we have options, and I know it can be overwhelming to know where to begin, but that is our job, to be able to help you guys to know what are the possibilities and the areas to be focusing on for you in particular. And I think this turmeric is almost similar to, and I'm not going to say it's same components as a multivitamin, but I love the fact that this is very broad spectrum. If you guys remember seeing some of those benefits, it does a lot of things. And that's great, because this isn't one that we have to say is specific for, let's say, for example, mind works. We generally think of, yes, it's going to help our mind. But this is something that all of us, I believe, can benefit from. I will add, because I'm sure somebody is going to ask, can kids take this? There has not been any studies on kids using this or during pregnancy. But again, I go to say that generally when you're pregnant, I've never heard of an OBGYN telling them not to have turmeric. So I pretty much say I think it is safe for pretty much every population, but definitely check with your doctor if you have any concerns. So, all right, guys. And I know for the most part here, these calls, guys, we try to keep them pretty quick, but I wanted to leave extra time tonight because I had a feeling maybe somebody may have a question, or if somebody's used turmeric, we'd love to hear from you. So if you don't mind unmuting yourself, if you have a question or something you'd like to add, please go ahead and unmute yourself here. That would be great.
Amanda, it's me. I'm on John's iPad. I'm Judy.
I wondered who you were.
Has there been any, have you got any feedback from somebody that has taken this or from Shackley that has really noticed something?
Judy, we kind of jumped on sharing this so quickly because, again, it was literally just released today. We haven't had access to it earlier, and I don't know anybody else that has. Okay. So I know we're going to start to hear people that were in the clinical study start to share their results. And as soon as they do, we'll pass them along. So I can't really say, but I would 100% guarantee you that if Shackley released it, that, it's amazing. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't even question it. So, but yeah, great question. I know I'm excited to hear some more of the, I wasn't actually planning on this morning. What we were going to be talking about tonight was this product, but I was just so excited to get it out there that, I think that, it's great that we can learn more as this more information becomes available. And actually today, the scientists talked mainly about some of, the reasons behind this product. And it really wasn't about the testimonials. And I know those will come. So thanks for asking. Okay. Good question. Good, guys. Anybody else? Does anybody take turmeric currently? And some people call it turmeric. I see.
My husband takes it, and it was quite a process. Trying to, since Shackley didn't have it, that was one of the few things that I had to get elsewhere, and it was I didn't feel super comfortable about it because even research other brands, this will be good.
Really? Could you tell a difference using it how you were doing it?
He likes the joint health complex, and he uses them both together. So I don't really know. I mean, do you notice the difference?
I am certain I will feel a difference.
Yeah, he says he's certain he'll feel a difference from the Shackley.
That's great. I know I'll be getting it too. So that's great. Thanks for sharing though. That's good to hear. Again, I think that turmeric is one of those things that's not new and most people have heard of it. So this is a great product to, I think to have available. And they were talking about the market, and this is actually one of the top selling, as far as a supplement, that for the last 5 years has been one of the most top selling product in health food stores. So that's kind of interesting to note that, yeah, it's been around for a little while. Good. Anybody else?
Hey, Amanda.
Yeah.
So why do you think most people take it?
100% inflammation is the number one reason I hear, for
You
sure.
think- Okay, so that's why it's so hot right now is inflammation.
You got it. Yeah, and I kind of, and I shouldn't say I would relate it to, but when you think of like CBD oil and how popular that is, anytime somebody can do things to help relieve pain, and that's where inflammation's tied to pain, and I think that's why this is so popular. So, yeah. All right, good.
So
Anybody else? I think I cut you off, Sarah.
Well, I was just thinking what Jennifer alluded to. For those of us who love the bone and joint health, you know, a lot of active people are on that. Is it beneficial to take both?
Definitely, they're very different. Very different,
So-
actually.
So I just asked my husband, why were you, because his doctor actually prescribed it, and
Well, joint health is gonna help
he
connective
tore
tissue.
his meniscus, and so that's why they wanted him to take this for inflammation, right?
Mhm. So
Yeah.
the joint complex is great
Yeah.
for mobility and
Yeah.
for connective tissue, but then the turmeric keeps the inflammation of all those things down.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. And like I mentioned too, from some of those studies they're doing and looking at, you know, we're talking about like, you know, restoring liver function and even organs being involved with, I think, turmeric. You know, the joint health is specific to your joints, and glucosamine's always been known for that. So that's where I say I feel like this has so many more properties to it that we can learn about, that it's way beyond just saying, you know, again, just inflammation. So anytime you can deal with multiple areas and healing your body, yeah, that's the way to go.
Amanda, do you anticipate like changing up the amount of alfalfa that you take if you add this into, since it's kind of doing the same thing?
That's a great question too. And I would probably back down a little bit if you added this to see, you know, kind of how it reacts in you personally and see if you do notice a difference. And we're all different, right? I think if somebody has, for example, you know, rheumatoid arthritis and your joints are really hurting you, you know, you're probably gonna have to keep up with a lot of alfalfa and add this in order to get that relief. But, you know, if it's just some of us, maybe we're runners and occasionally our knees hurt or we just have some pain here and there, I'm kind of thinking that even just by adding this, you're going to notice relief pretty quickly and yeah, not have to add all the other stuff. That would be great. So good. All right, guys, anything else? Hopefully you're all excited and ready to try turmeric. Judy, I can't tell if you're raising your hand or you were.
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I saw myself muted again. So does this mean, oh gosh, I forgot what I was gonna say now. Oh crap. Go ahead, I'll think of it later.
Alfalfa?
I'll think of it and I'll send you a text. I'm sorry.
Buddy, no problem. All good.
I got too excited.
That's all right. I'm glad you're so excited you forget what you're thinking. Yeah, that's awesome. So again, guys, I would even be thinking, you know, for other people right now, and even we're talking about, and I know it's you know, always a hard topic, but I think anytime we can help people right now with their symptoms of depression, anxiety, I mean, this is a very stressful time for a lot of people. And again, the turmeric, the benefits of that, even for talking about brain health, you know, this is worth investigating and learning more about. So I encourage you to share it with people. If somebody's mentioning, you know, they're just looking for some options, we would much rather see people trying things like this than being on an antidepressant the rest of their life or something that could have some long-term side effects. So just take note of that too. All right, guys. Well, we are exactly at 20 minutes right now. So good job. And if you didn't get a chance to ask a question you had, reach out to any of us guys, whoever invited you. We're happy to help you. And again, every Monday night, guys, you have something you'd like to learn about, please feel free to ask. And I think I missed a couple of you guys to say hi. So thanks for joining us tonight, though, guys. And hopefully we'll see you back again. If you guys are hanging out for business training, we will continue to that. So thanks, guys. Have a great
Thanks, Amanda. Bye-bye.
Thanks. See ya.